Bitcoin dropped all the way to 58K. What gives? What the hell is happening? Will Mt. Gox destroy the Bitcoin bull run? Don't fall for the FUD and stay until the finish. We're gonna reveal Michael Saylor's latest prediction, calling for $10 million Bitcoin. And the math? Well, it seems to check out. We get a lot to cover. Let's get it.
Party, that party. Come and have a good time with G.O.D.
Hey, welcome back to the most bullish Bitcoin news show on the internet. I'm your chief propagandist, Rustin. Now I know you saw the news. Germany is dumping Bitcoin. Mt. Gox repayments are dumping Bitcoin. And Larry Fink, take a look at him. He's watering at the mouth just at the idea of all this. And for all those who sold, you might want to pour out a drink for him. Because it looks like all the FUD is, well, just that, which is similar to bullshit. Samson Mao and Fred Krueger break this down really well. There isn't a massive dump from Germany or Gox. Right now, this Bitcoin dip is purely sentiment and fear driven. See what happens to people when they're scared?
Oh! What the hell are you doing? That man's a cop. I was scared.
Sell the generational wealth. Not from selling large holdings. Even when Gox coins come to the market, if there are sales, they will likely be via OTC and will have minimal impact on the price. Here's a little breakdown of some of the numbers from Fred Krueger, Mt. Gox math. Roughly 100K Bitcoin will be distributed starting in July. Of this, Intangible Coins estimate 65K will go to individual holders and a minimum of 6,500 Bitcoin will be liquidated. Let's say that the number is 2 times that, so 13,000 BTC. That number is roughly the amount Microstrategy acquired 4 days ago at these prices. Do you remember how that impacted the market? Me neither. Remember, this starts in July. We have no idea the schedule. It could be spaced out over months. My point is, we've already dropped $120 billion in market cap over the last week, even at a 40x multiplier. It's not only priced in, it's massively overshot. This is a massive buying opportunity. So yeah, this Mt. Gox redistribution, preventing Bitcoin from choosing violence and slingshotting to 100K, total bullshit.
Bullshit!
Truth of the matter is, we just had to make sacrifices to 58K gang to then recommence up only. Now, you know what isn't bullshit and is gonna send Bitcoin parabolic? Well, check this out from the Asia Times. Breaking, US debt predicted to be 50 trillion by 2034. Quote, if you see a fragile bridge, you know it's gonna collapse at some point. As Saylor nails it here, the truth is, nothing beats Bitcoin. The numbers don't lie, and economics, like up until Satoshi came along, it was basically all pseudoscience.
Everything you learned in economics and about money in your entire life was pseudoscience, and superstitious. And you can't blame the economists for being mired in pseudoscience and superstition because we never discovered perfect money. And so Bitcoin is the first time that we actually discovered a thermodynamically sound, mathematically sound economic protocol in the history of the world. So I think we will date things before Satoshi and after Satoshi. You can't think of it as a network or as a product. You have to look at it as a protocol the human race discovered, like base 10 math's a protocol, like the metric system's a protocol, like English is a protocol. And so this is the first sound protocol, economic protocol in the history of the world. Now we finally realize why seashells and bales of tobacco and fiat currency and gold coins and silver coins and copper tokens and glass beads and the giant stone coin of the Yap people, we understand why that stuff never worked. Now you know. If you really understand Bitcoin, it's because I've got an asset where the energy has a half-life of forever, and the half-life of energy in gold is 30 years, and the half-life of your money or your energy in the dollar is 10 years, and the half-life of your energy in the bolivar is 1 year.
Guys, Saylor is right. Bitcoin is not only immortal money, it just is, it's perfect money. In a physical sense, like the discovery of a perfect semiconductor. Krueger nails it, a constant, like the speed of light or absolute zero temperature. What makes Bitcoin perfect is its fixed supply. It's not just rare, it's mathematically finite. Seashells are not finite. Gold is not finite. Yap stones are not finite. Ripple, Ethereum, Cardano, name your shitcoin, not finite. Only Bitcoin is. That's the mathematical limit. of the equation. Now, what is the value of perfect money? Well, you better get ready for one of, if not the most bullish takes from Michael Saylor yet. But before we do, let's take a quick minute to recognize our sponsors, the Bitcoin Way. If you're looking to learn how to Bitcoin, how to properly secure your Bitcoin, you might want to head on over to the newly revamped Bitcoin Way website, where you can begin your road to Bitcoin sovereignty today. If you're looking to schedule a free 30-minute consultation, go ahead and use that link below in the show notes. Now, do you guys recall the legend Hal Finney? Well, he said maybe the destiny of Bitcoin will be a settlement network for high-powered money, connecting Bitcoin banks. This is why blocks are small. The internet is built in layers, so is your cell phone systems, so is any business or corporation. Now, if you recall, Hal Finney projected the value of Bitcoin in the future would reach $10 million. And Michael Saylor, he agrees.
Hal Finney said maybe the destiny of Bitcoin is to be a settlement network for high-powered money connecting Bitcoin banks. How's Bitcoin going to scale? Well, in China, Bitcoin is going to scale via an ETF in Shanghai that allows you to buy wrapped Bitcoin, which will be custodied by a bank in Shanghai, regulated by and overseen by the Chinese government. Right? Sometimes we confuse two objectives. Are you in favor of Bitcoin being successful, or are you in favor of eliminating capital controls in the world? You can try to get a country to change their policy. It's called revolution. But on the other hand, if you just want Bitcoin to be successful, when you hear the Bank of Shanghai is rolling out a Bitcoin ETF custody of the Bank of Shanghai, you would say, that's great. That's going to give access to Bitcoin to 1.5 billion people in China. They're going to buy a bunch of Bitcoin. The price of Bitcoin is going to go up to $10 million coin. The existing banking system is 50,000 banks, all primarily capitalized on the dollar. So the entire world banking system is effectively pegged to a fiat asset, which is collapsing, and it's all cleared through one node. People understand why that's not a good idea, but I think it's a mistake to conclude, oh, and therefore banking is bad. Imagine a world where 50,000 banks all used Bitcoin as the capital asset, and they cleared peer-to-peer with each other. And so I replaced a defective fiat capital structure with a perfect monetary structure called Bitcoin, and I replaced a network that cleared through a single node, and I replaced that with 50,000 banks clearing peer-to-peer. And then hang on that network 500,000 big companies. And then put below that network, hang 50 million institutions. And then plug into that 1 billion families. And then step back and ask yourself the question, does that feel better or worse than what we have right now in the Bitcoin system? And is that better or worse than what we have right now in the fiat system?
You can see that Bitcoin has been consolidating around previous all-time highs for about 100 days now. This is a sign of strength, and it's done it in each of the previous cycles before going parabolic. And just in, Mr. 100 has bought the dip his first time since May 19th. I don't know if you guys caught yesterday's episode, but is it possible that Michael Dell is Mr. 100? Let us know what you think below. And if you've been following us, we've been talking about the mother of all supply squeezes for a long time. MOAS. And it's still in play. Bitcoin's balance on exchanges continues to steadily decline. Don't get shaken out, and you might want to get some in case it's like catching on or something. For those of you into the chart magic and voodoo, the last time Bitcoin RSI was at this level on the daily chart, Bitcoin was 26K. Do you see a trend of what happens every time Bitcoin seems to bottom on that little RSI thingy? Zoom. A zoom. I don't know, correlation, not causation, but there is a trend here. The real question, my friends, is with all this going on, you got history, just, look. Do some 10th grade math. Are you panicking or buying? I kind of agree with this guy. I think we've been in an accumulation phase of this prediction since the ETFs launched. Next will come the announcement phase. After Larry and the gang get their bags loaded, then, well, you know what happens next?
Over the long term, adoption makes sense. Like all of your arguments about why you should short Facebook in 2013, they're all wrong. Facebook's trading at $280 a share. They're all wrong. You should have never sold it ever. Now, What happens to all these wonderful models if 10 billionaires decide to buy $1 billion of Bitcoin each and announce we bought it, we're not ashamed of it, we're going to buy more? All your models are destroyed, completely devastated. Bitcoin goes to the moon.
Guys, at the end of the day, do you want a volatile appreciating asset or a stable depreciating asset? Do the fucking math. And the bullishness doesn't stop here. Is Michael Dell next to ape into Bitcoin? Have you missed Simply Bitcoin streaming the Mining Disrupt conference? You better get on that. Hey, like, subscribe, share the Sound Money Gospel, give us a pamp. Stay tuned in to all the latest breaking news with us on Twitter, and I'll catch you all on Thursday. Peace.
If you prefer to go down with the ship, fuck you.